Hello guys and welcome to this video. Today we are going to solve problem number 12 of this series, 30 days of JavaScript. Now let's go ahead and read the problem statement. It says here, given a positive integer, write an async function that sleeps for millisecond, and it can resolve any value. And the example has been provided to us here, where given the input, the output should be 100. And the explanation here is that the function should return a promise that resolves after 100 milliseconds. And in order to check for it, we are going to run this type of function. Like let's say when we provide the variable t a value, which will be the time, the date now, our function, when we pass the value of the millisecond, the millis, which in this case is 100, this function will sleep for 100 milliseconds and then run this part of the function, which should give us 100. And the same for example number 2. So it should return a promise that resolves after 200 milliseconds. So the first thing is to document our code. So we need to do some pseudocode here. So the first thing is to write an async function. I'm just going to copy this one. And I'm going to have a comment here, which is write an async function, which we have it here, is to write the async function. And based on this example here, we want our return a promise. We all know, based on the previous video, how to create a promise. But now in this case, we are returning a promise, right? So it's going to be return. So if I have this comment here to know what is the next step, we want to return a promise. But that promise needs to sleep for a given time. But let's return the promise first. So return the promise. We are going to have new promise here, right? We are going to have new promise here that need to resolve. Now, the next thing is the promise needs to resolve after a certain period of time, which we are going to have another comment here. Or we can do this way. Resolve after millisecond. So what I'm saying is the promise needs to resolve after the argument passed millisecond. Now, in order to make the function sleep, we need to add a, I'll call it like a method or a built-in function that is called set timeout. Now, what that set timeout does is it allows the code or the level where we are in our code to sleep for a certain period of time before running the next code. So we are going to set timeout here. I think it's timeout. And in here, we are just going to return resolve. It doesn't matter what value we are putting inside the resolve. As long as we have it, it's going to run. If it's empty, we might get an error. Now here, we want the code to resolve to sleep for a millisecond. Oops. For this amount of time. So I'm going to up here. Now we want to create a function, an async function, and the name of the function that we created is called sleep. This function will take an integer as an argument or a parameter. And essentially this function is supposed to return a promise, but that promise be resolved after a certain period of time. So since it's supposed to return a promise, we are running this part of code from line 9, return the new promise that we are returning. And we want the promise to be returned after a certain period of time before running the next code. And this will be the time that we need the promise to sleep on will be based on the argument that is being given to us. And once we have it, it's going to run the next part of the code with the then. So the then here means after this one is completed, then do this part of code. So let's go ahead and run this code to see the result. Perfect. And as you can see, the code has been accepted successfully. Although the value expected was 101, we got 102, but still the code has been accepted. And the same thing here, the output is 200, but the expected was 201. But we are following the requirement here. Let's go ahead and submit the code. Yeah, the code has been accepted. And this marks the end of this video. Thank you very much for watching, and feel free to click the like button and subscribe to this channel, but also leave a comment. See you on the next time.